don't think I'm going to have time to review a game today, unfortunately. I'm a little busy packing at the moment. It's going to be my first time in a few years going back to the Disney World park, so I'm pretty excited. Just gotta check my bank account real quick and make sure that I'm prepared for... Well, so much for that, huh? How about the next best thing? There's a ton of Disney video games out there. Even on the NES alone, there's a bunch of them. But for all the mentions of DuckTales, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, and Darkwing Duck, there's one NES Disney game that I hardly ever see anybody talk about. Adventures in the Magic Kingdom, released by Capcom in 1990. Now, as I'm sure a lot of you have realized from my other videos, I like amusement parks a whole lot, so this game immediately piqued my interest. Just think of all the things you could do with a game set in the Magic Kingdom, all the rides and attractions you can base levels off of. The possibilities seem endless. Also, it helps that this was developed and published by Capcom, who also developed and published the Mega Man series, which of course I'm a huge fan of. They also developed and published all the major Disney games on the NES, so this is looking pretty promising. Anyway, let's start it up and see what kind of adventures this game has in store. And here we go, Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. Let me just type in my name real quick. So the story starts off in the Magic Kingdom, fancy that, as Mickey is getting ready to start the parade. However, Goofy left the golden key to the castle inside the castle, and in order to get in there, you need 6 silver keys to open the gate, which Goofy also lost. Okay, first off, whose dumb idea was it to trust Goofy with the keys? And second, what kind of backwards security system is this? Now anybody can find the keys and get access to the castle. Well, I guess since we were standing within earshot of this conversation, Mickey asks us to get the keys back for him while he goes and plays Kingdom Hearts. I don't know. So according to Mickey, 5 of the keys are in attractions, but we'll have to ask around for the 6th one, whatever that means. So here we go, and man, it is a dead day in the Magic Kingdom. Look, there's nobody here! So you play as this random kid in a cowboy hat, and from here you're free to explore the overworld map of the park. Look at the castle, man. It looks a bit different than I remember.
Whoa, man, these graphics are awesome!
From here, you're free to play any of the game's 5 stages in any order, so in that way, the game kinda reminds me of Mega Man, except instead of a stage select screen, we have this overworld map. This doesn't help very much. Well, I can go in any order, so let's start at the top of the map here with Big Thunder Mountain. Mickey tells us that we have to ride a minecart to get through the stage, and off we go. This stage is pretty straightforward. Mickey tells you at the beginning what station you should aim for at the end, and from there you just have to worry about which track you're on. You can change tracks with the D-pad and brake with B, which you're going to need to do because there are boulders and gates that will block your way and cause damage. 3 hits and you get kicked out of the attraction, but you can just walk back on to try again. Okay, and got it. Once you finish a stage, you're given one of the 6 keys, and wait a minute! Why is Goofy the one giving me the key? I thought he was the one that lost them. Goofy's up to something in this game, I'm sure of it. Anyway, let's go over here to the Haunted Mansion next. Now, the Haunted Mansion has always been my favorite attraction in the Magic Kingdom, so let's go ahead and see what this stage is like. Well, there might actually be 999 ghosts in this level since they're all over the place here. Looks more like zombies to me, but whatever. I like this ghost up here because if you manage to run into him, he kicks you out of the stage instead of Mickey. At least he's polite about it. Hang on. That's clearly the Disneyland Haunted Mansion. Did the developers even visit the Magic Kingdom? That Haunted Mansion looks like this, so I guess we teleported for this level. Welcome, foolish mortals, to the hardest stage in the game. I'm serious, this level is tougher than a lot of Mega Man levels I've played, and it's all for one reason, which I'll get to in a minute. Your main method of attack in this stage are candles, and you don't just use the light from the candle to scare off the spirits, no, you throw the entire candle at them. You have limited ammo too, but thankfully candles are all over the place in the mansion, so it's easy to stock back up. You've probably seen me collecting these stars. They're in almost every level and can be spent in the game's shop, which you can pull up at any time by pressing the select button. Here you can do things like refill your health, get temporary invincibility, or even an extra life, so it's worth it to go out of your way to collect those stars. In the Haunted Mansion, you'll find some of the most precise platforming ever seen in an NES game. And back to what I said before about what makes this level so difficult, is that if you mess up just one jump, you get kicked out of the level and sent back to the beginning. There are no checkpoints at all in these stages, so you'd better do it perfectly. You get 3 lives and there are thankfully infinite continues, but it's still frustrating to get so far into the level only to mess up one small jump. And one small mistake like that, that's all it takes to get you sent all the way back to the beginning of the level. The knockback in this game is something else. When this kid gets hit, he does a flying leap in the opposite direction. I guess he gets scared easily. There are a lot of references to the ride, like the graveyard, ballroom scene, and the singing bus, but sadly, Grim Grinning Ghosts isn't in this game. This library section is the final gauntlet, as you have to have perfect timing to hit these books out of the air before they knock you off the platform. Then you have to hop across more platforms with ghosts coming towards you. Once you pass the singing bus, you get to fight that ghost from the beginning of the stage. He's persistent, but time your candle throws right and he'll go down. The next key is yours, and there's Goofy again giving me a key that he lost. I think he just enjoys making life difficult for me. In front of the Haunted Mansion is Pirates of the Caribbean, so let's head right in. The mission for this stage is to rescue 6 villagers and light a signal fire at the end of the stage. As you enter the village, you'll notice right away that you have no way of defending yourself, so all you can do to avoid the pirates is jump over them. The pirates look more like one of the 7 dwarfs than pirates, what the heck? As you climb around the buildings, you'll start to find the trapped villagers you need to rescue, and there's even the splashing cannonballs seen on the ride. About halfway through, the village is set on fire like in the ride, and you can head underground to find the hidden treasure trove from the ride's beginning. This skeleton looks pretty happy. I guess gold has its value even if you're dead, but as you know, dead men tell no tales. You have to time your jump carefully to get back up this ladder, otherwise you'll get knocked into the water. The pirates you find up here are a bit more aggressive. They'll charge straight for you as long as your feet are on the ground, so repeatedly jumping is the best way to keep them stationary. Timing is key as you rescue the remaining villagers and avoid the pirates' cannon fire, but before heading to the signal fire, make sure to go underground one last time and grab this torch. This doubles as a weapon, and it actually has unlimited ammo. Unfortunately, this level suffers from Mega Man syndrome, and the pirates respawn as soon as they go off screen, so be careful when jumping down. During all this, you'd better hurry or you're gonna run out of time. The timer is only shown on the store screen, so it's easy to miss, and I made it to the end just in time. With the fire lit, you're given the 3rd key. I think it's about time I make my way over to the right side of the map, and the next stage up is going to be the Tomorrowland Speedway. Looks like Pete has stolen a key, so we have to race him to get it back. There's really no way to tell which car Pete is driving, and as far as I can tell, as long as you make it to the finish line, you'll clear the stage. Getting there is a different problem, as all the other cars are on a mission to make you crash into the wall. There are 3 different speed levels, but you'll want to stay on the fastest one to clear some of these jumps that show up halfway through the stage. The timing between jumps is pretty tight, but I was able to make it across without too many problems. The section that threw me off the most is this one, where you actually have to come to a complete stop to wait for this bridge to extend. Aside from that, this stage is pretty straightforward, but they barely give you enough time to reach the finish line. Once you get there, Pete gives you the key. I've also been really enjoying the music in this game so far. Each track is short but pretty memorable and they fit their respective levels. It might interest you to know that this is one of the earliest games with a soundtrack composed by Yoko Shimomura, who would later go on to compose for most of the games in the Kingdom Hearts series, so this definitely wasn't her last time composing for a game with Disney characters. Alright, I only have 1 stage left, but before we do that, why don't I look around for that key that Mickey said we had to ask around for? There's this kid standing out in front of the castle, so let's go talk to him. Oh, so it's a trivia game now. I see what they're doing. Man, I wish Heather was here. She could probably answer all these questions no problem.
I am here.
Ah! When did you get here?
I can hear you talking from the hallway.
Oh, well, here, have fun and answer some Disney questions.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's an easy one. It's Doc.
Well, it's more than just one question, so they'll probably get harder as you go along. Go over to Space Mountain.
Okay. There are a lot of Snow White questions here.
Yeah, but you know this stuff.
It's not too bad. What does Mary Poppins pull out of her bag? I think it's a hat stand.
Nice. Guess we're going to the front gate now.
Okay. The first Academy Award-winning cartoon.
Well, it definitely wasn't Steamboat Willie? Steamboat Willie? Well, that is the best typo I've ever seen. I guess they didn't proofread this very much.
This doesn't really look like the Magic Kingdom.
I mean, it's a 30-year-old game. Cut him some slack, you know?
Pluto! I didn't know he was in this game.
Neither did I. Oh, wait, you mean that dog. I guess he doesn't have a name in this.
I got that one right.
You scared him!
I didn't mean to!
Go chase him!
He's got the key. I think this is the last one.
Focus.
Who is always correcting Thumper's manners? Oh, that's Mrs. Rabbit.
Oh, he's gonna ask us 2 questions this time. He's challenging us.
Shh, let me focus. Are you even a Disney fan if you don't know this?
Hey, nice job. You got all the questions right. Thank you, Heather. Your Disney expertise came in handy.
So how much do you have left?
Just 1 more stage and that's it.
Well, here, take these. They'll help you play better at the game.
How the heck are these gonna help me do any better at the game?
I don't know, but you look funny.
Gee, thanks. Okay, now that that's all over, only one stage to go, Space Mountain. Oh man, I love Space Mountain. Let's see what they did with this stage. So what we have here is a test of your reaction time. Your mission is to get to star F as Mickey informs you at the beginning, and to do that you have to push the buttons that show up on the screen. You're really only looking at this section of the screen. Everything else is just for show. Seems pretty straightforward, but you only get about 1 second to react, otherwise you take damage. 3 hits and it's back to the map. The timing on this is really strict, and just when you think you've got it under control, the game hits you with this, where you can push either left or right. It really threw me off at first. The closer to star F you get, the less time they give you to push the buttons before taking damage. This is one of those levels where you feel like you shouldn't blink or you'll miss the next button prompt. Oh, come on, I pressed left.
I think you pressed A.
Get out of here!
Okay.
Finally, after multiple attempts, I got it. Aw yeah, all 6 keys. I guess there's only one thing to do now. Let's get that gate open. The castle gate is opened, and Mickey thanks you for your help as he gets the marching band ready to go. Now let's see that parade. We don't get to see the parade. Well, lackluster ending aside, I still had a good bit of fun with this game. It's not a spot-on representation of the Magic Kingdom, but being that it's 30 years old now, I wouldn't expect it to be. It's got good graphics and music for the system, and it's surprisingly challenging at points, especially in Space Mountain and the Haunted Mansion, where I saw a bit of Mega Man level design shine through. I'd say this game is worth looking into, so why isn't it talked about more? Well, it might have to do with the length of the game. Want to know how long I've been playing for? 30 minutes. Yeah, I just beat the entire game in 30 minutes, and that's with all the times that I died. You could probably beat this in 20 minutes if you knew what you were doing. I don't entirely see its short length as a negative, as it does encourage repeat playthroughs, and the fact that you can choose any stage right off the bat is a huge plus, but those rage-inducing platforming segments in the Haunted Mansion and split-second accuracy in Space Mountain did frustrate me. Not bad, Capcom. Not bad. I'm kind of surprised they didn't decide to continue this style of game for the other Disney World parks. Can you imagine an Adventures in Epcot going around the World Showcase with a level set in each country? How about Adventures in the Animal Kingdom, climbing up Expedition Everest or traveling back in time with Dinosaur? It would have been great. And what about Hollywood Studios?
Man, these loading times suck.
Yeah, just forget I said anything.